you know, if you have any uh, advice generally on how I lane, how I whatever, I don't know,
Hmm.
my combos, whatever.
Yeah, sure.
Whatever you can give me. Like I've been hard stuck in Herald for so many hours.
Your turn to
That's right.
ban.
Let's see.
Yeah, but
Hey, little
it's
buddy,
Falls to me
it's
to
time to
just a minute or
ride.
so until the game starts.
Let's get the
Patience.
sound down a little bit and look over this. All right. Sage masks.
yeah, because she's got a lot of mana problems at the start. So I first want to solve the mana problems, and then so I can spam my spells.
I want to see if
30
anybody else does
seconds
this.
till
I'm
video
not a Naga
games.
player
30
inherently.
seconds.
I saw some, not so many, but I did see some by Ring of Basilius,
Yeah,
which
yeah, yeah.
we're getting into. Yeah, but it's not that common. But you know, it's I thought maybe a lot of them are assuming their supports will buy clarities for them, but here in Herald, you can't
Uh,
rely on your support too much. So I try to be more independent.
all right. Let's see how this works. Hmm.
Yeah, that
I think
Lina.
Lina got a little bit lucky here, but intuitively I would always try to draw aggro and just get the wave back, and then you have it like even further to yourself,
Mm. Okay.
and then it doesn't get contested. Let's see. Then with the illusions, so we want to zone this invoker, which is really nice and interesting that he's like just running away. But then we can command the back, and we can use them actually to be here on the lane and go or lean on them and try to create some pressure as well. I wouldn't dive towers with illusions.
Oh no, I just went on the invoker. I didn't care what happens to the illusion.
Oh yeah, you should care. Try to care, and then use them actively against Lina as well.
I think I didn't do it because I didn't see her. Maybe I'm not sure.
Mm. And then again, I would be drawing aggro quite a bit, like
So draw
50
Naga.
times.
Okay, I'll
Yeah,
write this down. That I'm not doing that enough.
yeah,
Like
yeah. I think it's really difficult to overdo it. You can like in 5 minutes you can do it 20 times, 30 times.
the aggro drawing.
Yeah, just always get the wave back. And then cool people, they understand that that you can like as soon as the creep gets low, then they draw aggro, and then the creep comes closer to them, and so the range attack misses the time frame when like the creep is low.
So I wait till the creep is low and then I draw the aggro. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, if you want to CS with it. But in general, you can. Let me get a free camera so it doesn't jump. But in general, for example, if you would be staying here on the lane, you would draw aggro, get the creep wave over here, and then you draw aggro again, and then you can like manipulate the creep wave all the way back to have a safe place. And another very common scenario is here: once the creeps hit the tower, even if it's just in the front, as soon as the tower hits them, you want to draw aggro again and then farm them back in your tower instead of like close to the enemies where it's contested, because like the tower is pushing it anyways, and then you can like draw echo as well.
Hmm. Okay. So
Then,
I draw the creep wave even behind my tower. That's what you're saying.
yeah, if it's in tower already, like if it's perfectly like on the line here, then you don't want to do it because otherwise the tower pushes the wave and then the wave gets further up there. Um, but if the creep wave is in the tower already, then you can draw it back even further.
So they won't be able to contest it to deny them.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm. Okay, I'll write this down as well.
First blood, and it came so easily.
Dyer's middle tower taking
Yeah, I
And
think we can lean over there. I'm not sure.
I wanna yeah get a little bit distracted here. Let's see.
Yeah,
So
here I was
you're
waiting to pull. Yeah,
okay, okay.
because I
Maybe
was
fair enough. If the supporter doesn't do it, um, we just have to weigh the options. For example, here I think those were like 2 or 3 creeps that you missed, and even if you can't CS them, you still get the XP points. And then maybe you can just use illusions and push the wave into the enemy tower even, because then again the tower pushes your creep wave, and we have like a bounce effect back to where you want to have the wave again.
Yeah, I thought about it, but I was afraid of the burst damage of Lina and Invoker together because
Mm.
I felt it's kind of dangerous to go even that deep. Like I know it's not too deep, but even then I was kind of afraid to go the over there.
Mm-hmm. And then
So
immediately we have the wave again.
Dire's middle tower
Yeah,
because
fair
taking
enough.
damage.
as you can see, the Winter Wyvern wasn't as active, didn't harass too much. So I don't know. What's your opinion? Should I be more aggressive? Because I didn't count on my Winter Wyvern. As you can see, like he didn't do much at the start. Afterwards, he was pretty good. But
That's alright with me. Like when I play with my friends, for example, and there's like a big MMR difference, I always feel like that my supports are very passive and inactive as well. But the main thing that you want to have from lane anyways is just the last hits. Like the only goal for the laning stage is to get as many last hits as you can. And as a goal, for example, you should aim to get 25 last hits in 5 minutes. And if you manage to get your average closer to those 25 last hits in 5 minutes, your MMR is just gonna rise automatically. And I wouldn't try to like trade Invoker CS, Invoker HP for the CS that you can potentially have. And for example, here under the tower, even if Lina would be about to die, I still wouldn't join there. I still would prioritize the creeps. Now I would prioritize the creeps, and every harass that you put out on the lane is only to get them away from the creeps so you can last it again.
so yeah. So I have a question.
Hmm.
Can you pause it for a second?
Yep.
Like about what you said just now. Me and my friend were trying to really skill up our CSing, and my friend specifically got to like 50, 60, but we still feel that killing the enemy heroes could be more beneficial because I'm stopping them from progressing.
Hmm.
So that's why, like, I'm not saying CSing is not important, but if I can get a kill, I would most likely try to get it over CSing. It's like, what's your opinion about that? Is that a good
I
approach? Is
see
that
the
a bad
thought
approach?
process, but we have to keep in mind that Dota has a mirrored map. So the enemy carry, and usually like the position 1 to 5, position 1 is the one with most net worth. If the enemy carry has a big focus on or let's see where we can start this. So the heroes, the core players, they gain a lot from gold compared to other heroes. And if you as a Naga trade your gold with Lina, that is a support, then you don't both get the same value. For example, if I would be Lina, I would be loving to just trade with you even if you die 3 times because you don't get any gold other than the kill. And what is a kill? Like 200 gold. This is like 3 or 4 CS. So I would be super happy as a Lina to constantly trade with you because every trade we make is lose in net worth on your side. And as a core, as a carry, especially, the only goal that you have is to boost your net worth as much as you can so you can get the relevant items to be strong in the game. As a Wind Survivor, for example, you don't need gold. Like, even if you have 10,000 gold right now, the game doesn't, well, it would change, of course. But, like, from the concept, it doesn't benefit you here as much as it would for a Naga. And as a Wind Survivor, for example, you want to trade and you want to look for kills and you want to be team fighting and stuff like this. But as a carry, our main focus should be to gain as much net worth as possible. And one kill is always a risky set of net worth, and 4 creeps that you hit equally have basically the equal net worth and they're guaranteed. So I would be very cautious with like trying to chase kills. For example, if you have a hero like let's say Phantom Assassin and you see that your support is fighting with somebody else and then you can just throw a dagger, jump on, get the kill real quick, return to the lane. Fair enough, of course. We want to participate, we want to harass, but the main goal is just to get the CS. For example, if you would have, I don't know, 15 or 16 CS right now, instead of even 2 kills, it would still be worth more. And it's very easy to just get the 16 CS compared to guarantee the 2 kills, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense, but like, do you think it applies to Herald as well? Because in
Hmm.
Herald, the variance is so big because you can have carries that are pretty useless, and
Hmm.
sometimes the supports are carrying the game. So it's unpredictable. I don't know who to focus till it's the mid game sometimes.
Yeah.
So generally speaking, that's why I try to go for as many kills as I can to stop their progress, whoever it is. Uh,
I mean, from my perspective, if I would try to win games where I know that like everybody is still trying to figure out everything, and I would play Naga, I would just have like 300 last hits in 20 or 25 minutes, and then I would solo finish the game. That would be my approach. So I would boost net worth on the rates that nobody else can, either because they are supports, they don't have the abilities, for example, like illusions like you have, and even the course, like I would expect that this Medusa doesn't get any net worth until like minute 40 or 50, basically. And so I would just farm at such a high rate and such a speed that I basically out carry everybody. And even if you get counterpicked, then you're still so much stronger. This is usually my approach. And another hero that fits Naga really well is, for example, Phantom Lancer. And there it's even clearer because you just want to get your heart at minute 23, maybe 24, and like heart and Manta, and then you just finish the game. And
Yeah,
nobody can stop you from doing it. And this would be the same approach here. Just boost your net worth as much as you can. And
yeah, okay.
with the advantages you get from the net worth, you can make up for like not having good teammates or messing up or making mistakes. And yeah, this would be my approach.
Yeah, okay, let's continue. I have a couple more questions, but
Hmm.
I'll ask them later.
Sure. All right. Hmm.
Yeah, here I waited again to pull again because I didn't want to go too deep. And yeah, she
We've lost Dire's courier,
Oops.
but we'll never forget the many whose prime support to do.
All right.
got killed there.
Um. Yeah, just the main thing. I think it's really a matter of mindset. Because right now, I would have let's say 25 last hits and power treads, and I would be probably level 5. So with that, you can either decide, okay, I can still fight and I can still try to play here, or I'm just sitting in a jungle and I'm gonna max my E and my mirror image, and then I'm just gonna jungle up every single camp on this side, every single camp on this side as well, and then
Yeah,
leverage the boost basically that you
I
get on objectives.
I found it really hard to get CSing here because of their arrest. So
Uh-huh. Are you in the are you from Europe or is it like the same region? Because then we could like go into practicing matches and like just look at laning mechanics if
I'm
if the ping is not too high.
uh I'm from Israel, which is kind of in the middle between Europe and
Ah,
Asia.
okay, okay.
But, it's pretty close. The ping shouldn't be too high.
Yeah, then maybe we can still
But
try it later.
no, okay. Like my CSing is, I'm. It's not the best, but it's not that worse because just I found it really hard because of their harass.
Mm,
So like that's the only reason I didn't get too many CSs here. Like even for me, six last hits at 6 minutes is really bad. Like
mm-hmm.
it's not I didn't try. Like we can go through a different game
Yeah,
where I won. You can see that my CSing is much better. I
I
just
see.
didn't know how to deal with the harass. That's the
Ah,
problem.
all right. Then I would recommend just to invest in more heals and then continuously draw aggro. I think aggro is the most
Okay.
um,
Yeah,
yeah,
maybe that's what I should have done.
yeah. Then
Just draw as much aggro.
exactly. And then they like get the wave to themselves, and you have your part of the wave, and then it's more difficult for them to harass. So you have a bigger distance
Mm.
between yourself. Yeah.
How? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. When the other team is too aggressive, it's always hard for me.
Hmm. Then yeah, I would just try heal and aggro, maybe another set of tangos, and then use illusions to zone them, draw constant aggro, and try to focus the CS only. But this comes with time, or we can look over it. We can even do like something like a live coaching where I tell you what I would do in this situation.
Yeah.
Um,
Sounds good.
yeah, might be helpful. Let's see if you can manage to get it all today. I don't know. All right.
Yeah. Here you can see my CSs are a bit better because they stopped harassing me.
Hmm. But here again would be my mindset that the only valuable thing on the lane right now are those three creeps.
I also got pretty tilted from all of her harassing, so it felt kind of good to kill her.
Understandable.
But yeah, you're probably right. Maybe I should focus more on the last hits.
Yeah. And then this camp is a little bit too big for to farm right now, I think, at level
Yeah,
5.
so
And
I
so
realized it a bit later.
yeah, and I would have tried to be on the lane here again, and just get the next 4 creeps. The next thing is with the experience. I feel like the pulls, this is something that I do as carry sometimes if I really feel like, okay, my support is never doing it. But even then, it's usually worth more to just stand at the lane, even if you know you can't see us right now, and try to get the last hits and aggro, yeah, and just the XP, so you get the levels. And the next thing with Naga illusions, of course, it's way easier to come to the lane or even to CS with the illusions. We try to camp. We need a tango here, of course. Then yeah. Now the wave is there again.
A gift from the tempest of battle.
Yeah, I tried to deny as much as possible. Here I couldn't really deny that much, but I also tried to deny as much as possible.
You want to be the wave.
Radiant's middle tower
Yeah.
is being attacked.
Okay, I'll shift my focus from now on.
Yeah. Yeah, try it and see if it works for you. And now the game changes. Like as soon as you hit like minute 8, minute 10, what you want to do is you want to push out the wave as fast as you can, and then take the camps in between, and then return to the wave and like maximize it and get all of the camps instead of just the wave. So here, for example, even especially if Lena's dead, I would just push as hard as I can, and then the next wave as well, and then move to the jungle camps and start farming them.
I think I did it, but a bit later. But I heard of that approach, yeah, from BSJ videos mostly.
Yep, yep. I think this scenario doesn't occur if you push out the wave and keep them busy like under the tower, and then you can take the camps in between. And now we're at a point where you can almost jungle as well and be more
So
efficient.
at level 6, at level 6 I can start like pushing the wave. I think I started level 7 or 8 to do it.
Taking damage.
Yep. Yeah. And I think you can do it from minute 8, maybe even level 5. And then yeah, just keep going.
Taking damage. No more middle
Right,
tower.
right.
Dire's bottom tower is being Radiant's middle tower is being attacked.
Okay. Even though it feels weird to me, like I wouldn't even try to fight.
Radiant's bottom tower is being attacked.
I'll just push this.
Yeah, here I did it from level 7. Yeah, I remember
Nice.
Radiant's middle tower
And then we want to look at the timings real quick. Like we take this camp, and then it respawns, and then instantly I would take this camp again, and then this camp, and then this camp, and then just move my way over there, and just be efficient and take every single camp that you can get. And the next thing is you want to have an observer board, like either you can ask your supporter to do it, or they're free to buy, so you can just buy them, place them maybe here, but this gets more likely deboarded. You just want to see if they come into your jungle and try to interrupt you.
Okay, I'll put this down.
being attacked.
And then the farming game is on, which is a fun part in Naga.
Dire's top tower is being attacked. Dire's top
Nope. It feels really off to me, which is alright. But here, for example, like, was it still this camp that's on? Maybe we want to take this and then even rotate into the bottom area or mid lane if this is pushing. But mid lane is pushed already, so it's fine. But then if we go back, we want to take this camp and this camp, or we want to get to the tower and take the creeps. But I think your approach was again to go in the invoker.
Dire's top tower is
Yeah, I wanted to defend the tower.
top tower is under siege.
Yeah, but this is just done by pushing out the waves. Like as soon as the wave is gone, invoker is gonna go as well. He can't solely hit the tower.
Dire's middle tower
And now every engagement that you do is on the one side risky, and on the other hand, that's like, I don't know, what is it, almost a minute now, which completely throws off your farm.
bottom tower under fire. Radiant's bottom
Nice.
So when
Oops. Yeah. Now we go back. Yep.
yeah, I think I did it. So when is it? I forgot the word. When should I go for a trade and try to kill them? Only when I come online?
Yeah, I think especially if you use like Naga or as carry in general, you have a couple items that you want to have at a certain point of the game, like in certain minutes. For example, if I have Phantom Assassin, then I want to have PKB Desolator in minutes 24. And PL timing would be Heart of Thrask, and Naga timing could be similar. You just want to get your, Manta maybe at minute 15 or minute 16, depending on how fast you are. And then whatever else you choose to buy. Maybe you go for the Orchid and Heart, and then you want to say, okay, if I want to get both, maybe it's minutes 26, and then I have all of those items here. And if you manage to get that, then basically with this you can run at every single hero. Like imagine what Dusa has in 26 minutes. We can check it soon, but I bet those items would just completely destroy her.
So before that, I shouldn't like really go on try to kill
Yeah,
enemy teams.
yeah. You don't
Maybe.
want to run for kills. Maybe there's like an obvious opportunity, but usually you want to look for areas to control and objectives to take rather. So if you want to get active and if you want to get impact in the game, go bottom and do the same thing. Farm this area to steal it away from the Medusa and Alchemist and pressure this bottom tower by pushing the waves.
Okay, that's. Let me write this down. So if I want to be more active, because I do want to be more active,
Mhm.
I should farm in their area, like in their safe lane.
Yeah, yeah, and create pressure by. So my method, and this is something I preach every day, and they are in and out. Mid lane has to be taken the tier 1 tower, and then the tier 1 tower on the safe lane, and then Roche. And then mid lane, safe lane, Roche, and mid lane, safe lane, Roche. And this is basically the concept you always do. And this top tower, this top lane is completely irrelevant. Like if you get a tower, it only opens up the triangle and not even that much, and you don't want to be there anyways because it's an enemy high ground, it's difficult to play there. But you want to be here, you want to pressure this tower, and then you want to own this bottom area, and then basically you take away all their farm, and if you push out the wave continuously, you threaten to even open up this tower. And this is basically where you want to play. And so mid tower has been opened already, and if you want to, if you feel like you really want to play with your team, which I don't necessarily see because now you get your Yasha and you're really quick at farming. But if you would want to do that, then you want to do it bottom and like get a kill here, open the tower by just pushing the wave and farm this area with Ancients together.
So I shouldn't care too much about defending our safe lane tower.
Yeah,
That's what you're
yeah.
saying.
Like a support can do it, and maybe you can do it even by just farming the wave and like getting the wave pushed till here. But then again, I would retreat and I would farm it up and all the way down in the next minute, and then push out the wave, up and down next wave, and yeah, basically sit in this area until you're strong enough to feel like, hey, if I get in contact, I can just kill people, and then you want to use the strength to get objectives, and objective importance are mid lane and enemy safe lane.
So, but if I want to be more active and do go the approach you said, being in their safe lane, so
Mhm.
I shouldn't care too much about the tower. If someone takes their from the enemy team takes that objective, I shouldn't care too much. I shouldn't TP there or something.
Yeah, no, I think so. You should never overreact to this bottom to your own safe lane tower
Okay, I'll write this
because it's
down as
not your job to defend it. For example, if you would set a bristleback, like if you're off laner, then bristleback could just sit up here, and even if like 3 people come, they can't really kill him, and he can just like do some havoc and get the space here and farm it. But you as a Naga, every second you don't farm is a lost second basically because your net worth is so incredibly important that you really want to maximize it as good as you can. And the best thing, of course, would for you just to be completely free farming. And now we have some enemies, so maybe what is even better is to take the enemy farm. But this is usually like scarier, of course, because there are enemies there, obviously.
yeah, but I do.
Mhm.
I'll explain to you later why I want to be a more active carry.
Yeah, yeah, I
Uh,
see. All right. But for me, it's just the net worth. Like if you get the net worth done, everything else just comes by itself.
Radiant's top tower is being attacked.
Okay.
Radiant's top tower is being attacked.
Did we skip that, or is it blocked? It's empty, right? I guess.
Loaded to the
And there's still a creep. That it misses. Yeah. Nice.
Well done.
As if you could
Yeah,
change
here,
something now. No? Alright. And the
Yeah,
next thing is with every illusion hero, if you're not regenerating while jungling, you're doing something wrong. Like you're not supposed to lose HP while you jungle if you have illusions. And the same is true for Phantom Lancer.
yeah,
So
true.
try to position yourself like you go at the creeps and then step back a little bit so the jungle creeps change aggro, and then you can go in again.
Yeah, definitely. I should do that more.
Nice. I like the position now. And now, for example, we see we could check the wave, and then we would see that Invoker is pushing this wave, and then we can take like one wave and then move back. So actually this time of rotation is super nice because at the minute start you want to be at the dangerous camps and then farm back to your safe camps. For example, here as well, you want to pressure this, and then as soon as the minute respawns the creeps, you want to take the dangerous camps as fast as you can and then retreat in your own safe space. And so you're at the minute start right now, which is perfect. You can take those creeps, but here, for example, I would just send some illusions, I clear up this range creep, clear up those creeps, and then instantly, like, you take away all the pressure of this lane, even pressure their lane because they don't have a tower anymore, so the creeps basically meet here, and somebody is forced to rotate, and then you can move back to your safe places.
Okay,
Dire's
understand.
middle tower taking damage.
This is nice.
Dire's middle tower is being attacked. Dire's middle
Okay.
tower taking damage.
And the next thing is with heroes like this, during your farming patterns, you can always try to keep the mid tower in focus as well. So if you see this, for example, I would go mid lane now, take those creeps, take maybe the next creep wave as well, and then rotate back to the top lane.
Yeah, but the alchemist is over there, so I couldn't really go there. And as you can see, he died here, but he is pretty strong.
Oftentimes it's enough to, like, you don't need to have the kill threat to kill somebody. It's just enough to get the creeps out of the way, and then their power is basically delayed.
Okay.
But nice, you push top, which is really nice. And look at this. Now suddenly we have a threat here. Suddenly an alchemist joins here, even though alchemist wants to farm like this area. Now he's forced top, so he's losing net worth by the second just because you pushed out a wave. Absolutely perfect. Well done.
Double damage.
Okay.
We take those camps. Nice, nice, nice. And then we want to check, okay, what item do I actually need to play in this game? Alright. It was a little bit tricky going back here because it's all like the alchemist up there. But went up.
We'll take that.
That's life.
But
then
how would I know that he comes for me? Like, he doesn't know where I'm there.
Ah, yeah, I think he didn't know. I think he didn't know. Let's check his perspective and see if it makes sense. So I want to farm this, and then I want to farm the side camp here, and then I want to farm this camp. It's all empty. I'm gonna take this lane, but I want to jungle somewhere. It's like, where do I jungle? The camps are respawning. Maybe I take those two camps and go back in the ancients, or I'm even more aggressive and I take Naga's farm and basically take the camps here. So let's see what he does. He's like, okay, let's take those camps. There we go.
And if I had the ward there, it probably wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, exactly. You would have seen Alchemist is there, and then you
Yeah.
can say, well, I'm out.
A gift from the tempest of battle.
Illusion.
Alright, we gotta be a little bit careful again, like if you show mid lane, because there are many people missing.
Yeah, here I wanted to help my my team.
Yeah,
Dire's middle tower taking damage. Dire's
it's a really difficult game already, just because of the level disadvantage that's happening here. And how
Yeah,
many
I-
CS does Alchemist have?
I have no idea where he came from and how he became so strong so fast.
Yeah, yeah. But imagine, for example, that you would have like 300 last hits now, then you have suddenly the power to stand against that. But Alchemist is a tough guy. Like, if
Yeah, he carried their game.
yeah, yeah. You
I
basically have
thought-
to delay the game as long as possible and split push, and then wait until
Yeah,
his power spec is over.
I thought maybe he's even a Smurf because I never saw someone that dominant, except for Smurfs. I mean,
Dire's top tower is under Dire's top tower is destroyed.
like Hero is kind of desperate because I didn't want him to take our second tier towers, and I didn't know what to do. It's like my team didn't come even to try to stop him.
Yeah, yeah.
Regenerate.
Alright, let's go back real quick. I think if you fix your laning stage, then all of those problems just don't occur. But let's see what we could have done in this exact situation. So right now there's the first death here, and now I would be like, oh shit, okay, this alchemist is super strong. So what do we need to get rid of an alchemist? We just want to split push waves as much as we can. So I would probably try to move in this direction, yeah, get some illusions out. If he tries to clear them, we can send him away, and then move like on other lanes to just push them out as much as possible. And avoid fights, this is the most important thing. Like, as soon as alchemist shows up, I want you to be on the other side of the map. Because there's like
Yeah, but
no chance of fighting here right now.
so here's my first big question.
Mhm.
Whenever stuff like this happen, I did like when I played Klinks, I didn't join fights at all, and like my whole team pinged me and said the report Klinks is not helping, and I'm trying to tell them that
Yeah.
I'm useless now. I don't even have my Gleipnir,
Mm.
and at the meantime they just slaughter my team. So I have no idea what to do. Like maybe if I could help a bit, and we maybe I'll tip the scale, and we could defeat them, and they won't slaughter my team. Because if they slaughter my team, like it doesn't help that I'm farming, because their team is so fed. So
It I guess it depends on the fight. If you try to defend an objective, like if you try to defend a tower and you see that if you join the fight actually looks different, then you can go for it. But even then there's a risk involved with it because if they manage to kill you, then you're not only not farming, you're losing net worth, and they're just gaining it like crazy, and then they take your objective. If you're in a losing game like that, it's way, way better to just try to AFK farm as long as possible and keep the lanes pushed, which is not AFK, it's like actually impacting the game. You want to keep the lanes pushed so Alchemist doesn't get to hit objectives, and then you need something like a Heart of Tarask to stand against this guy. And so the question is, how long in like if you farm as fast as you can, how long do you need to get your Heart of Tarask? And I would argue maybe 7 minutes, 7 minutes, 8 minutes. And then the question is, okay, is this game still going for 7 minutes? And I'd say yes, it is. Like if you manage to push out two waves at the same time, pretty much, and get the jungle camps, then it's gonna last 7 minutes. If you hit those 7 minutes, the game suddenly turns in your favor. And if you try to fight now and you lose those fights, then the game is not gonna last 7 minutes, and it's gonna take you 15 minutes to get a heart. And this game doesn't last 15 minutes if you don't have it. So this would be my thought process.
so I should have just split pushed, stay away from the team fights, even though they're kicking our ass, and hopefully become strong enough to stop them.
Right now, definitely. We just want to get away from Alchemist. But if you, for example, move mid lane now, take this mid wave out, and you push it in front of here, then farm your way up and get there, then the probability that they're just all 5 men running down bottom is really low. Somebody's gonna split up, like some Lina is gonna think, I just defend top tower, and then you kill the Lina, and suddenly your lead increases. And then Alchemist TP's top because he thinks, I'm gonna kill this Naga because you killed my Lina, and then you TP bottom, you do the same thing, you push out the waves, and you just try to kite them around as much as you can with your illusions, and get the map open for you and just delay the game as much as possible.
So whenever I face like such a dominant opponent,
Hmm.
that's what I should do, like evade him and try to
Yeah,
split push him.
yeah, because he can't be everywhere. But everywhere where he is, you don't want to be. Like
Yeah.
nobody of the team wants to be there right now. So even as a Crystal Maiden, I would be pushing out top instead of fighting here because there's like no way to stop this guy. Only when this guy really decides to get like one set of racks and even threaten space, then it's like okay, we just have to do something. We have to try it, even if we like, even if it looks bad. But as long as there is no real threat to you, as long as the barracks are still closed and the waves are still pushed, look, even tier 2s are still there, you can defend those objectives by just pushing out the wave. Because no matter how strong somebody is, he won't get through the backdoor protection and solo finish the game.
Okay, I'll write this down.
And then I think it's special against Alchemist because Alchemist power spike is really early. Like he gets Radiance, BKB, Assault Cuirass is usually the thing. And if he has this in, let's say, 25 minutes, then he's a really difficult opponent if he even gets it earlier. But as soon as you get to minute 30, minute 40, he doesn't get any more. Like the items he buys, they don't impact the game significantly. And on the other hand, your Naga gets stronger by the minute. Like you scale until minute 50, 60, 70, you're just the strongest late game hero.
Yeah.
So you want to get to that point as safe as possible without risking too many deaths that delay the super strong timing.
Dire's middle tower taking damage.
I see.
Dire's bottom tower under fire.
Yeah, from here on, they're just kicking our ass.
Yeah, it's super
Wipe
difficult.
after team
Yeah,
wipe and try to stop them.
yeah,
no
especially
suc-
if you try to fight now. It's just super difficult.
Yeah.
So I think maybe check out one more,
Yeah, I'd be happy.
and then I could show you one of my replays. I just played a round with a couple of friends, and it looked like a really losing game as well.
How? What is their rank?
Good question. Something
Because it's
between
important it's a herald.
something between Guardian, I think, and Legend.
I'll tell you why, because Herald games are so chaotic and awkward.
Mm,
It's so disorganized and uncoordinated.
yeah, I feel
So
you.
it's a different beast even than like Crusader maybe, but Legend definitely not.
Yeah.
So a lot of the things that are relevant in like higher brackets, or a lot of the tactics and strategies, they're not relevant in Herald.
I think the concepts are still the same. Like you
Yeah,
get to use them in different places, but for example, how fast you farm, how fast you hit your item timings, which objectives you take, all
yeah,
of
yeah.
those same decisions
Yeah,
still valid.
that's for sure. But like I try to buy as many words as I can. Like I kind of forget to do it, but I'm not relying on my supports to give me
Mm,
vision or
yeah,
to
fair enough.
pull or to generally do support stuff. Like I don't assume they'll give me clarities or will pull. I just try to do it all myself.
Yeah. This game is great. The probability of you winning is so much higher because you have the same amount of CS than you did at minute 6 last game.
No, this game I feel I played really well. I think I probably could finished it much earlier.
Hmm.
Uh,
Then let's focus on some small stuff as well here.
hmm?
You don't want to tank the creep wave with your illusions. You want to use your illusions on the weak targets, which would be line. So I would wait until the creeps meet, and then use the illusions to go in line. Because now they're like taking so much damage and they're instantly gone basically, without too much of an impact.
Can you repeat that again?
Sure. Let's slow down.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see where you cast it. So we have the creep wave.
Mm-hmm.
Now we cast as well. And now the next creep wave is coming in.
Mm-hmm.
And your illusions basically are stuck between Lion, Bristol, and the all of the creeps. So they're taking the maximum amount of damage that they can take. And they're hitting the target like Bristleback, which has the most HP region and is the tankiest. I think you get more value out of it if you just wait until they don't tank everything anymore, just reset them back, and then go on Lion, because then this Lion has to run just like the Invoker before. And this Bristleback doesn't really care about it.
So just wait a bit more till they like they come closer and then go for the lion.
Yeah, basically don't feed your illusions in the creep wave.
Hmm. Okay. Makes sense.
And here I would draw aggro again, just to get out of this quill range. And yeah, play it safe. Nice.
Yeah, yeah. The aggro thing, I'm not doing. I'm not doing too much. I definitely need to up my aggro game.
Nice. I like the target. They feel a little bit. I think you just set them once and then you forget them.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did. Just right-click them, and I don't care what happens.
That's not the play. Because they have so much value. Like, they help you to secure every single CS. If they zone one guy, then he's zoned already, like, as soon as he crosses this line, and then you can go for the next. There's more value to get out of him.
So, what should have I done? Like, just harass him a bit, and when he goes back, send my illusions to the bristle or to deny or something.
Yeah, so if you want to be really detailed here, the first mistake is that you get them to draw aggro. I don't know why this bug is there. It looks funny.
Yeah, it's the replay have so many bugs.
Yeah. But so the creep wave here was actually ready for you to last it, but you drew aggro, so this creep is going, and this range creep is looking to the other side, which is not pushing your wave, which means that your wave might be pushing into the enemies earlier. As soon as this guy's here, he's zoned enough, and then we can switch target and just go on this guy. And the next thing is that the most important thing is still the CS. And if this messes up your CS and gives them the opportunity, for example, in my games, they would instantly harass. They would just both click this creep and deny it, and then they would both go on the melee on the range creep and deny it. And so you don't want to give them an opportunity to go for that. And now this line, he's completely out. What we want to do now is we want to move them back and just get the Bristol back.
Okay.
And if Bristleback is like running all the way back here as well, then fair enough, we retreat the illusions as well. And the next thing is we don't want them to dive the tower, because just as in the last game, you basically block the creep waves. Like, the creeps now chase your illusion instead of walking towards the lane.
Instead of coming to me, yeah.
Yeah, and that means it's more difficult for you to get the CS because they're not even there. But in 20 seconds, the creep wave is gonna meet like closer to the enemy tower than to your tower, which makes it more vulnerable for you. Just because you basically block the creep wave from coming to you.
I see. Makes sense.
And for example, this range creep wouldn't even have died if the creep wave would have been already here, because like the melee creep's going first, then range creep still stays. This means that your wave is dead even earlier, and this means that the wave is pushing more to you, which puts you in a safer place, and even in more kill threat, because then if a bristleback steps forward here, you can use spells and like kite him back all the way to the tower. Alright. Now is a great time to trade. And the reason being is that the creeps are full HP. Like, if you trade right now, there's nothing you lose. Because there's no creep that you can miss.
So generally speaking, it's better to trade when the creeps are full HP because they can't buy anything.
Yeah. And you don't lose the last hits.
I see.
I'm a little bit bothered by the camera perspective. It should be here, I think. Like
What?
the camera's perspective, because you want to see if they make a move on you, or like you want to see if they get into the screen and the information. Wait, let's reset your camera perspective.
I
So
think I just looked at the minimap and didn't see their face, so I didn't really.
yeah, fair enough. But it should be a habit to get the most important information, and like all of this area is information that you don't need right now. Like you don't need this, you don't need this. What you need is you need to see them coming in, and you need to see the CS, and then yeah.
So the camera should be a bit lower.
Yeah. But this is like nitpicking here. This won't win you
No,
or
no,
lose your game. But a good camera perspective
Yeah,
is
but
really
I think
important.
it's a lot of small habits that make
Yeah.
a lot of difference at the end.
Definitely. The bigger mistake here, the huge mistake actually, is to stack this camp. Because if you stack it, there's no way that you farm it until minute 7. And the next thing, if you stack it and the wave gets pushed to you, they can just pull it and destroy a complete creep wave. So you basically
Right.
give them a tool to
Did I stack it?
yeah, to pull a wave. I think you stacked it, yeah. Or maybe you didn't bench, but the attempt was there to stack it. And yeah, you don't want to do that. Because either you want to farm it and you can farm a stack, or you even want to block it. Like most supports, they just block it because they don't want them to pull the creep waves in here and destroy the wave.
Yeah, I'm not sure why I stacked it, to be honest. Maybe I thought I would get it later, but yeah, it definitely makes sense not to stack it.
Again, the focus is on the line, but it should be immediately on a tower. Like if you pull like this, which is nice actually, like I have nothing against it if the support doesn't do it, but I would just cut this tree and be at the wave as soon as possible again.
That's right, definitely.
But nice. And you're there eventually, that's fine. Cool. Look, and you have almost 30 CS at 5 minutes. This is incredible. If you get this to be your average, and this is, I think, the key point to gain MMR, just do the right things continuously and as like disciplined and on a long time frame. If you have this many CS, in most of your games, you just win. You just auto-win.
I don't know, man. Like after the replay, I'll ask you a couple of questions about this approach, because it doesn't always work as smooth. But afterwards, I'll ask you.
Yeah.
Let's focus on the replay.
Alright. Again, like this is a, what is it called? Black Bearer creep. Traded for, I don't know what. And again, the camera perspective, this is nice, but then yeah, maybe you're looking at minimap constantly and then see the line, but you can just do it like this and then you see everything.
Yeah, okay, definitely.
But nice. I like it. And now we're like close to level 5, so we...
Here was it like a good thing to kill the bristle because I didn't lose much CS, or should
Sure,
I just...
like if people feed, of course, there's like always... I'm not saying that you never go for kills, but I wouldn't... Like, for example, I wouldn't try to go for kill here, or if they like chase a line somewhere random, that I wouldn't go for that. I would
But if
just...
he's like in my face and is going to die,
yeah,
then...
exactly. Like if he wants to feed, sure, you can go for it. And you can
Perfect.
even like prep them and harass them and try to look for it, but only insofar that it doesn't cost you in last hits, because like you get 3 or 4 last hits and you basically have the same value. Sweet. Sweet. Alright, really close, and I'm not sure if I would have done it, because it might not be worth to trade like this amount of HP for a 14-second Steph Bristol, but fair enough. I just want to point out, it's possible because you have items, and this is possible because you took last hits. Nice.
Like if I had like 10 last hits, I might have
Yeah,
died.
of course. Like there's no way you ever win an engagement there. You couldn't even touch the creeps and last it, I think. Like if you come in 5 minutes with 6 last hits, you're completely zoned, completely out of the game.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
look, this is now the trade-off that you made basically. Like you had a whole wave and maybe even the next wave for Bristleback. And the question is the value equal? And I will argue this might be 500 gold running down here. And what is Bristleback?
Structures are fortified.
Where is it even? Lol. Ah, there it is.
He came
200?
back.
Hmm. So it's a tough trade. It's a tough trade.
Yeah, I
And
see what you mean.
again, you at
But
least want to be in XP range.
Radiant's middle tower
But
is
let's say I didn't go for that trade and didn't kill him, like he would just keep harassing me, and it still would have cost me some less hits, wouldn't it?
Sure, and there's like a spectrum on it. It's like it's not like do I kill him or not kill him. You can just trade consistently, and as soon as this guy falls like for half HP and you're almost full HP, then you can do this trade because then you're half HP on the lane and you can take the next CS. You just never wanna get a moment where like both of you suddenly decide to duel to the death and look who has more HP. This shouldn't be the way you trade on a lane. But you can constantly harass and try to set it up and like get illusions and prep him and get him low and focus the line maybe even more than the Bristleback. So you can get scenarios where you manage to kill him. But I wouldn't, for example, like in any case, I wouldn't just randomly decide to all in on one guy. It usually doesn't go in your favor. I
Yeah, I
like
see.
this time. I like that you leveled Mirror over what is it called? Riptide. I think the illusions are stronger. You should max them first.
Radiant's middle tower is taken
Yeah, that's what
damage.
I always do it. I started playing her pretty recently,
Hmm.
so I still getting my way around you.
Double damage.
Yeah, that's perfect. Look. Now you harass him and you do some shit, and if you do the same thing in 20 seconds ago, he can die. And you're still full HP, and then you can trade with it. Maybe you chill if you have like a support for you, but never
Yeah, I
mind.
don't know where he left me. So
Yeah, that's life. Then at this point again, whoops, I skipped it. My bad. Ah yeah. At this point again, the creep is me. Ah, we've been there already. My bad.
Radiant tower is being attacked.
Do. I think that's where it was. Yeah.
Dire's middle tower is being attacked.
So the waves are pushed. Take the range creep. And now we know that the next creep waves are meeting. So I would be here for next wave as well. Push it out as fast as you can, and then start to take those camps, and then return to the wave. But again, the most valuable thing here is this wave. And as long as you're not like certain that you die, you should go for it first every time.
yeah, I came to it pretty late. Yeah.
And then same thing. Like if you take this camp now, then the next creep wave is gonna meet, and you don't want to lose too many CS. Nice. Fair enough. Fair enough. Perfect. We take it. And now we take the camps. Nice. Nice. Now we take the small camp. And then I would even take this camp, because until then he's gonna have the wave push for you to the tower.
Dire's middle tower is being attacked. Radiant's middle tower is being attacked. Top
I would retreat. Yeah, I probably did here.
Radiant's middle tower is
Yeah.
As soon as there are two people again, Lion might have ulti as well. You don't want to engage in anything.
So I should have just go to my tier 2 or to my jungle.
Yeah, or you can just use illusions to push out the wave and then go back with yourself. Yeah. Just don't risk running into both of the heroes.
So like at this point of the game, the tower wouldn't necessarily save my life, right?
Yeah, definitely. They can just dive
Definitely
you.
not.
Especially on
Yeah.
a stupid hero like Bristleback, where he
Yeah,
buys like half of the Raz, yeah. No, what is it called? Vanguard. And then you drop really quickly. Fair enough. Top again, and now we just want to maximize farm. Basically, laning stage is over. And I wouldn't even hit this tower. Like, Naga is not known for pushing buildings incredibly fast, but for taking camps very fast. And so you just want to be taking camps.
But shouldn't I use to split push as well sometimes?
Yeah,
Like
but
a
for
four-
Naga as well, it just means to kill the creeps. Like, the way you split push is by killing the creeps and not hitting towers.
Hmm.
At least for the
Because,
first
like,
20 minutes.
I always feel like they must TP someone because they see me, they might think I'm the real one, so they might even TP and waste their scrolls, you know?
Ah, I see. But if I would be, I don't know, if I'm a mid laner, and that I get a chance to, for example, trade mid tower or do something on the map or farm my shit, I wouldn't care to defend my offlane tower as the enemy. So just want to boost Networth.
You're a high level player. These heralds are not.
True. You can bait them, but then again, it would say that you want to fight, and this is not the case as well. So you want to avoid like interactions with enemies. This is perfect right now. It's perfect. You just farm it up. You just gotta be careful and look like.
Radiant's top tower
Here I would look at mid. For example, you see, okay, they're trying to push mid, and I have ulti. Like, does this game change, or can I hold this tower by just pressing an ult? And you definitely want to have an eye on this, because you don't want your mid tower to fall for free. This is way more important than to take another objective.
So you're saying my mid tower is more important than taking their offlane tower?
Yeah. I think pretty much everything you do is more important than taking the offlane tower. But for example, if you have the opportunity to take the safe lane tower, you want to do it. If you have the opportunity to take aggressively this tower, you want to do it. But then holding mid tower is just super important, because as soon as mid breaks down, basically this whole area falls into enemy territory. Because it's just open, it's difficult to TP to, there is a lack of vision. If the creeps get pushed, they are up in front here instead of like there where they should be. And yeah, you want to make sure this mid tower survives as long as possible. I made a video actually about where I showed a correlation in my games between the amount of time the towers live and the amount of games I lose. And every time I lose a mid tower at minute 10 or earlier, it's like 100% that I lose the game.
Like a correlation of that, the data that you took from the sites, you mean?
There's what is it called? The battle report? Yeah, under the battle report you can find it.
Oh wow!
those invulnerable
I can forward to you the link later.
I'll
Then you can check it out.
I'll check the video. Definitely check the video.
But this is nice. I like that you play bottom. Playing bottom is the right thing. I just wouldn't like in my mind, we still want to get our item timing. We have Manta now, which is super nice. We can use it to farm as well. And at this point, you also want to split up your illusions a little bit more. Like I would be, maybe it's fair enough. You take the minute, and then if you rotate bottom again, might be fair enough. But for example here, I would go bottom first, take those camps, and then revisit this camp at the next full minute, and then stack it, and then farm it. And then you basically, like, if you farm this camp now, then you're gonna be at the lane, and then at the next full minute, you're gonna be in this area, which is not exactly where you wanna be. So
I should prioritize taking their farm in the jungle. That's what you're
yeah,
saying?
yeah, and then always farm backwards. But maybe this concept has time for a little bit later. I love that you bottom. This is the first great thing, because this is the maximized farm. And I would just keep pushing out this wave a little bit, and then use Manta Illusions to farm all the camps here, farm those camps myself, and then rotate between like lane and triangle. Again, here I would wait and set Manta to get 1, 2, 3 camps, or maybe just 2 camps, depends on like how strong your Manta is, and then rotate back. But I would probably stay in this bottom area as well. Fair enough. Fair enough. I think pretty much every single illusion can take a camp now. So you just want to press tab and
60.
yeah, and get every single camp.
The heart, yeah, definitely.
Even
this
before,
is like
I
my
think.
second game with Naga,
Yeah.
so I'm still getting my micro.
Yeah. Didn't I play a Naga game? I think I played a Naga game at some point. You can look over it as well. Let's see if I find it. But this is perfect. Like, where you fight is absolutely perfect, because if people, like, if they don't fight you, they lose their farming space. If they do fight you, they risk dying. If they do die, then you can take the objectives. And this is a perfect chain of events. If you just die, nothing happens. Like, from here they can't run fast enough to get objectives. They're not threatening any farming space. They're not like contesting your ancients. They're not getting Roche as an objective. So absolutely perfect. Wonderful.
As I die in their territory.
Yeah. And with this now, like if I just look at this, the probability of you winning this game is incredible. Just because you have like taken the towers, you control this bottom area, you still have a mid tower. At some point you just like you out farm them for like 10 more minutes, and then you take Roche and just finish the game.
Radiant's middle tower is taking damage.
I can recommend to use Manta a little bit more often. For example, now this bottom wave, I would push it until, like, basically until the tower with Manta. Alright. Yeah. And then the only way to look at their perspective, the only way to come back is to force fights and like smoke at you and get you. But as long as you play in this area safe and you boost your net worth, they have no opportunity to catch up in the game. This is the same with like Phantom Lancer, and you have both here in the team, which is weird. But
Yeah,
the
yeah.
concept is the same. Like eventually you win the game, and you just have to keep it long enough and control as much of the map as possible and just starve them to death.
Yeah, he played the Phantom Lancer mid.
Dire's bottom tower under fire.
Things you see in Herald, yeah.
That's alright.
Radiant's top
Yeah, you're
tower
just so
is
much
under
stronger.
siege.
I still think this fight is kind of necessary, but as you can see with that Networth lead, it's possible.
Yeah, I felt like I killed their carry, maybe it's worth it.
Radiant's bottom tower under fire. Radiant's top tower is under siege.
I would just still be thinking, okay, what item do I need to finish this game?
Radiant's
Well, maybe an Aegis so I can take high ground, and then maybe Scar if you go for that, or maybe a
so,
butterfly or something.
At this point, I know we're probably gonna win, but I didn't know how to finish it quick. It lasted for 20 minutes more or something like that.
Ah,
Even more.
yeah. So you just want to get the item that you need and then Roche. Like, especially in a leading game, this is another correlation that I have with like towers. If towers fall before 10 minutes, I lose the game, and if we don't take Roche, we lose the game. Basically, if the enemies take Roche 3 times, it's guaranteed loss. And if you have the opportunity to take Roche, then take it often and yeah, just off cooldown. Try to take it every 8 to 11 minutes.
Like I did take Roche, but I think not in 10 or 15 minutes. So I should have took it now. That's what
Yeah,
you're saying?
yeah. And then you can try to get the first tower, and then you take it in like 10 minutes again, and then you get the second set of Rex, and then you could.
I see.
Yeah. And the next thing is like this fight, Naga it's just difficult. Like if you draw Ranger, then maybe you could go for this fight. You could go Roche and instantly try to contest the tower. But Naga is a hero that controls areas and is really slow at pushing towers. So I would use the last 2 minutes or 3 minutes just to boost my network even more, get like 150 CS more on the map, and just farm everything with Manta as well. And then you suddenly have like Skadi plus, I don't know, whatever item you choose to have.
Yeah, I did buy a Scuddy eventually, and 2 Eagle songs as well. Yeah, butterflies, yeah.
Yeah. I would probably go Skadi and Hex, and then you have like you're still at minute 33, and you have Skadi and Hex, and then you can make those attempts. You just get Roche and then go high ground, and the game is over. So if you feel like you're winning already, don't try to throw the game by overextending on buildings that are difficult to take. Just try to use the advantage that you have and get the item where you know, okay, as soon as I have those set of items, I can definitely finish. And this would be a one lockdown item. It could be Blathorn or like Hex or maybe Orchid is enough even.
How would I, like, what item would you have picked right now if you were playing this game at this point?
I think Scud is not too bad, but then you need one more aggressive item. Like those items, they really enable you to stay alive, and then we want to get one aggressive item that could be either Basher or it could be something like Blathorn or Hex, just to get the initiation. Like you run at the line, you net him, you hex him, he's dead. Or Orchid, same thing, you net him and you Orchid, and he's dead as well.
Why not the butterfly, for example? It's more defensive.
Butterfly, the thought here is at the one side that you need more. Like, do you need 25 damage and 30 attack speed more to get the kills, or do you just need to reach them? Like, for example, I would argue with a lion, you don't need more damage. Like, even if you have 2 rapiers, this lion still doesn't die faster, because as soon as you get him, he is dead, but he's just gonna stun you and try to run away. And the next thing is what a big part of what you buy actually is evasion here, and there aren't that many physical enemy heroes that you want to get to. Like, sure, we have Medusa, but the Medusa physical damage is not what is stopping you from taking high ground at this point. And
So it's mostly their stuns.
sorry, say again?
It's mostly their stuns that stop.
Yeah. It's the stunts that really bother you. So maybe we could even think about BKB. Or I would say it's the lack of actually killing people. And this is the same actually, like if you play even BKB on Phantom Lancer. But the same thing with Phantom Lancer as carry. Usually the first point is to stay alive, and then the second point is to get an item that enables you to kill people.
Yeah, makes sense, because Naga is not a very mobile hero.
Yeah. Alright. And so now, by this point, I would just be so super rich and take Aegis that you can just run up there, and then everything they throw at you just tickles, and you basically take the Rex.
It kind of lingers like that till I take the Roche, and even then it kind of lingers even a bit more till we finally they make a mistake and overextend, and then we kill them.
I mean, if you manage to control those areas, they eventually lose, and then you can just play it cleaner by getting the item that actually enables you to kill them or go high ground, and then
Yes,
focusing on Roche and boosting Networth first.
Yeah, that's what I was lacking. I should have gone for Aegis and a more aggressive item and not the butterfly.
Yeah, yeah.
And it probably would have ended 10 minutes earlier. If not more.
Invisibility.
I see.
And at this point, the good thing is like in this game, what's really at cost here is basically like how long does the game take, because it feels like you're winning it anyways unless you Giga Throw. But if you get higher in MMR, like a decision like this, just the wrong item would lose you the game instantly.
Radiant's
Definitely.
bottom tower is demolished.
So we want to try to get this in. I think this is more of the same here. I'm not sure if there's much more. Yeah, but eventually we take it. And then again we want to hit the buildings. Yeah, just want to get Megas. Same thing with bottom. I would probably go for Megas first, just to have it safe. Oh yeah, we never want to stay here and do nothing. We just want to... Ah, we have it already. Fair enough. My bad.
Yeah, it wasn't. It still kind of lingered. As you can see from the replay, it still kind of lingered for 10 more minutes.
But it's the same scenario. It's like, okay, you took all the objectives that you want to have. You have mega creeps. Do you still need to be here? No. Like you just go back and farm and boost your net worth, get the next item that enables you to finish the game, and then you fight again. But if there's no objective to fight for, just don't fight for it. That makes
So
sense.
wait for my next item. Okay.
At this point, yeah, I would still go for Hex and Bloodthorn. It's still really valuable. What's an alternative here? Maybe Blink? Nah, it feels weird.
Oh, I ate Moon Shard.
Yeah, but yeah, let's see how it works. But I'd argue it's not the damage that you're lacking.
Yeah, no, you were right in your analysis. It's not the damage output.
But fair enough. I think I get the concept. Cool.
Yeah.
Ah, you wanted to talk about... You had some things in mind with laning stage and net worth, I think.
Yeah, like me and my friend have been trying to get out of Herald for like 2 months, and it's always we read a lot of BSJ in theory and like all the laning concepts and getting 50 CS by 10 minutes.
Yep.
But it doesn't feel as reliable because my friend is still like in 300 MMR. I dropped down from 300 to fucking 10. He's better at CSing than me, but still he picks like mostly either Clinks or Juggernaut, and
yeah,
we feel that okay, we got to 50 CS and our net worth is the highest in the game, but our teams suck and they just slaughter us, and sometimes we can't carry the game ourselves. Like sometimes we can, but so if it feels to me like Herald is too chaotic that a lot of the advanced concepts are just not so reliable, so we kind of converge to trying to get as many kills as we can, and that's it. Just trying to kill them as much as we can, hopefully to carry the game ourselves, because the team is so unreliable, and not just the team, the matchmaking in general, like the variance of skills in Herald is like it's enormous. You can get people who feed like by minute 5 I see the scoreboard, it's 0-6 for them because our all player is like a brain dead teammate, and it's like I have no idea what to do, to be honest.
I would say that, for example, if you play mid lane, then you can focus on kills, and then you can focus on kills and try to get objectives this way. But most carries, unless you play like Ursa or something, they are way better at farming and getting their item timing that allows them to kill things than just having like a number of kills set up there. As a carry, your main goal is to get as much net worth as possible, and I think my approach in those games would just be get double the net worth your enemy carry has, and then the probability of you winning is like 60%. And if you then start to get, like if you realize, okay, I can consistently get more net worth, how can I leverage this? What objectives can I take? Where can I minimize mistakes? With this,
sometimes Yes, sorry to
You go, you go.
sometimes it's not their carry that's the problem. Sometimes it's their offlaner.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's even their support. So that's what I'm saying. It's hard to know what to focus about. Just so generally speaking, we're just focusing on killing them. So whichever hero is their dominant one, we'll probably kill him too. So like
Yeah,
I don't feel like being high net worth is good. Like I'm not saying it's not, but
I like the mindset. Yeah, if the enemy safe laner, for example, is super strong, then of course you want to do something against him. But the question is, for example, an anti-mage. Like if you play against an enemy anti-mage, usually the thought process is, oh, we have to catch up with this anti-mage. We have to shut him down because he's gonna outfarm us with his battle fury. So we need to kill him as much as we can. And I would just argue, well, especially if you hear like Naga, you don't need to kill him. You just need to take his farm away. And like as soon as he doesn't farm, you farm for 10 minutes. He doesn't farm for 10 minutes. You win the game. And if you hear like let's say Void, and you have an ability to actually stun people, like your face is Void and you have Chrono, then I would say okay, go run at them. Like you want to use your ability to fight. But as a Naga, it feels like just get 2 items and solo win the game. As a Void, it doesn't really matter. Like you can be 5 slotted and still don't get the game done if you don't get good chronos. Like if you don't catch people, if you don't actually kill them. So it depends on the concept of the hero, I guess. But
yeah, definitely.
in general, like I would always like to have a core with a lot of farm in my team compared to a core with no farm. And I think this is really the first thing. If you try to get games like this consistent and even boost your farm further and further, like for example, right now you could have 600 last hits, and the probability of you winning with 600 last hits compared to 400 or 340 is just higher. And then we can see at like the small things. Okay, how can we tweak it now? How can we actually get this? But for example, I played Phantom Lancer to what was it like 4.5k MMR just by farming faster than the enemies. And I think yeah, you can. There's a lot of MMR you can gain by just focusing on your network first, and then once you get those routines in and you figure out okay how do I not die, then we can think about okay what do we actually buy with the net worth, where do we actually play, can we farm at the same speed while still pressuring lanes and enemy heroes, and then like we can get into it. But
So, assuming I go with that approach, I should play mid or safe, try to get as much farm as I can. Hopefully, my team won't get slaughtered as we saw with the previous game, and try to win.
I mean those things are always correlated. If you like the laning stage, for example, if you play to a ranger, I'm a big fan of the ranger. If you play to ranger, for example, you can still win and dominate the laning stage, and then you can leverage the advantage that you have from it. And it doesn't mean like even gaining net worth doesn't mean that you AFK sit in like those 2 or 3 camps. You can still completely own the map, but the main goal is of course still to accelerate your net worth to get you to a point that when you win the fights, you actually get something out of it.
Yeah, definitely.
We can let's look over this real quick.
I did try to win ranger as draw ranger as well, but it's kind of hard not to die with her.
Let's look over this game real quick. So
Hmm.
I played with a couple of friends, and I'm the Phantom Lancer. And if you look at my team, like we have 012, and we
Yeah, you
have
have a
like a
feed with
Rubik that's having a hard time. We have a Jakiro mid lane, which didn't work out too great. I don't know what to do. It's a difficult game. And then I looked at the enemies because I wanted to play PL because a friend of mine played PL before and he had struggles with it. And then I was like, hey, I like he went offline, but I was like, I want to play one PL game to just show him what the approach should be, and he can learn a little bit from it as well. And then I looked at the enemy heroes and was like, whoa, PL is actually a really bad hero. Like this is AOE, and then you have an instant stun on me. You can catch the real one with this. You have an AOE spell again, and you have evasion, so I need an item for that. You have a blink to escape. Like it's not ideal for a PL game.
but
But
you have a lot of stuns in your team.
that's true. That's true. We have something to work with, and maybe I can just speed through this to get the concept in. I don't want to take up too much time here. So we have something left of the evening.
30 seconds. Let this meditative
And this line support, for example, is another friend of mine, and he just recently started with Dota, basically. So he's not even carry barrier right now. and we're just chilling together and playing a little bit.
Mm.
And let's check out the assets. And so my goal here is, I know we could try to play more aggressive. We could like trade, and in MMR we would use like stuns and actually use the spells and try to get at people. And in this game I tried to explain the concept that you want to use your lion stun at the range creep, and you want to like focus the big creeps. And
Yeah, I see you
yeah.
you drew creep over there, didn't you? The
Yeah,
creep
yeah,
hand?
yeah, yeah. All the time, all the time. I'm gonna use this all the
Yeah,
time.
well, laning against sniper is a nightmare.
Yeah. And then against this guy as well. And I think I do die here even. So it's definitely not an easy game where I'm supposed to stomp them and win. But here again, you draw aggro, and then you just reset the wave, and like you bring them back, and then you can try to connect them over there. And this way the range creep doesn't die, and suddenly you have the wave in a position that's way, way better for you. And here again, I draw aggro, and like always, as soon as they're on the tower, I draw aggro. And I pinged again, hey, we should focus this creep, and like use a stun for it.
I see.
Again, I pinged the creep, and I was like, hey, please, let's get it. And just
Like,
try
I
to
feel like in
CS.
Herald games they would have harassed much more than what they're doing to you now.
But I think this comes really in because of the aggro. Like this really messes up the game for them.
Like the sniper would have shrapnel like 5 times. I feel in Herald they would do it. So that's why I find it a bit more difficult to get CSs.
I think we do die here as well. Yeah, I made a bad call. I thought we could kill the sniper, but we died. Unfortunate. Really unfortunate because I lost some creeps here as well. Now we just take the cams. And basically, what I want to get at this replay especially is, I just want to look at like the rotations and then what Networth makes the difference, or how it can look if the Networth actually goes in your favor, especially as an illusion hero. So I'm getting completely sound out in lane. This Lara actually did relatively well, I thought.
Yeah, but like I feel like even if your net worth is high, but your team's net worth is lower than their team's, it's so like that's just saying that you're a very good farmer, but your team suck. So
But this is like,
enough.
my approach is just I'm a maximalist when it comes to individual sovereignty, maybe. So my approach is that everything that happens in the game is because of you, and
Yeah,
the good and the
definitely.
bad things. And so my main thing is like, of course, we will have like random teammates, and we can't control where they're coming from and what their skill is. But with our action, we can control like the outcome of the game, and we can control actions of teammates in the game at least to some degree. And then we can still, like, if you put off the best performance and just give you the chance to win the game, it's way better than to like do some random shit and try to win the game this way. But we can see soon, I think, what I mean. So right now it's pretty even. Like the Slaughter has super high net worth and is kind of fed, and maybe we die here again, even, I don't know. This Lion dies again, and now I'm level 6, and basically now I'm jungling. Now I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm not even defending this tower because I know if I touch the lane again, I'm probably dead. And then the sniper comes here. I tried to dodge it, and it almost worked. That was so funny, actually.
Yeah, that they're really harassing you. That reminds me more of a Herald game. That they
It
come to
worked
your
super well, but then I used healing self, and then he knew it, and then I was dead. It was a little bit annoying. Alright, same thing. I TP top here now, because we know, okay, Slaughter is not here right now. So we want to push out the wave, and then it's still the most comfortable for me to farm up here. But at some point I want to be bottom and like contest the, what is it, the Phantom Assassin. So we take this camp, hopefully the lane. Let's see. Okay, Sniper showed up, then we let Sniper push it. Take this camp. And take the next camp. And take the next camp, like, it makes sense to me. And now Sniper pushed the lane, so we can take maybe this one more camp. I even interrupted because I want to make sure I get the creeps there. Take the camp in between, take the next wave, and now Sniper is suddenly alone. Can kill him. If there would be somebody else on the map, I wouldn't go for it. But now again, we see Slaughter is bottom. I push another wave.
You definitely overextended.
Yeah. And now we take the camps again. And now look, like Sniper is here again, and I'm like, hey, you just TP'd here, and I know you can't get out, and we just saw Slaughter bottom. So he's dead again. And hopefully I don't push this tower, because it's just a waste of time. Like, it's the amount of damage I can take to this tower compared to the gold I can get here. is diminishing. If this is a sentence.
Yeah,
And now,
I would
yeah, yeah.
I would have pushed it probably.
Yeah, and you don't want to do it. What you want to do instead is, if you want to have impact on the map, and that's what I'm about to say, is that you get your item that changes things. Like this can be diffuse blade, this can be manta, depending on the hero. Now I try to leverage it on the enemy side, and I try to leverage it on an area where I actually can get an objective out of it. So we just push this, and this of course forces everybody bottom. So I'm trying to be a little bit careful. Then we get initiation. Suddenly we kill 3 people. Suddenly we kill 4 people, and suddenly we kill 5 people, and suddenly I take a tower, and voila,
Yeah,
I'm super fat. And you can do this in a lot of games where you're like, okay, I realize there's an opening, I just got stronger. Even if I would know, okay, I can't fight all of them, I would just kill the ogre, push the wave, and then retreat. Fair enough. Then still 5 people would sit bottom, 5 people would share this amount of net worth, while I would be like retreating and completely free farm. I overstayed, I died, it's life.
and what would you do if, like, at the minute 5, your offlaner died 4 times? Like, if I'm trying to control the game, I might have TP'd there to stop him from feeding, maybe. Like,
No. I wouldn't. Like, in that case, you would just be 2 cores sitting in the same lane trying to get net worth. Like, it doesn't really work. And for example, this offlaner just died 5 times as well, but it doesn't really. Like, I don't care about it. I just want to look. If there's an opportunity, I go for it. If not, then my main goal is to get the hardest for ask as soon as possible.
so I just like ignore everything, not take, try not to take fights, and hit my timings.
I mean, it depends. For example, I saw an opening bottom. Like, I saw
Yeah,
that we could
there's
go
a
there.
really good option.
Yeah, and then you can take the opportunity, but don't try to force it. Like, I would never, even like if I get diffusal blade later, then I'm not playing bottom before I have diffusal blade and try to get a tower and like force a team fight where I should like get my item and then be useful on the map. And
I
so
see.
yeah, we never want to force it. And same as mid tower, like I take it if there's a possibility to take it, but I'm not gonna force it as a Phantom Lancer. I just wanna get the core items that I need, and then I'm gonna be really useful. Then I can really think about, hey, how can I prevent enemies from doing shit? And now I just wanna, like, for example, we could be farming up here right now, but I wanna have impact in the game, so I decided to push the mid tower so they have to react, and then I can farm my way down here and even threaten this bottom tower. So let's
I
see.
see.
Pushed out mid. So this was super useful pushing out mid because they have to react. Now we take those chems, which are safe, and take away the farm from the enemies. I'm even looking for a kill. Doesn't really work out. They rotate mid, and then I'm like, nope. Like, I'm not trying to help my 2 teammates that have like super low score anyways to fight mid lane, where they like we can't take an objective right now anyways, and I'm not gonna risk everything I have to just get the kill here. I just wanna have like 800 gold more to finish my item and then be strong. So I'm pushing out bottom.
Yeah.
And now things change a little bit, because maybe we can't kill them here, but if they dive that deep, we can definitely punish this. So they come in, both die. Beautiful. I even get a tower deny. Nice. And now we have hard. And now things really change in my mind as a PL player. Like, now I want to be as aggressive as I can. I want to take this, I want to take this, I want to take Roche, and then finish the game. So PA shows up, and by the way, this is the difference. This is just the difference. Like, what is it? This is like 3k net worth difference, but this is level 16 against level 13. Suddenly this guy just dies. And then it's like, wait a minute. It's 20 minutes in. I basically never saw this guy except for once at the tower, and suddenly he comes out of the jungle and is like the fattest raid boss I've ever seen in my life. And I think you can do this in most of your games, because most of the games people are not going to chase you forever in this area and then chase you all across the map and smoke to get you on the ancients or shit like that. Usually you have the time to do it, and if you make this your average, like if you get Heart of Tarask and Yasha on average in 20 minutes, you're 4k, you're 4.5k, maybe even 5k. And then the question is actually, okay, just how can we do it? And how can we build from this? And now I'm not even taking the jungle camps anymore. I just want to push waves. I want to get into buildings. I want to have my team hopefully with me and play as aggressive as possible. I even like said, okay, maybe we push bottom. Then they fight mid. They all kind of die. So I'm like, sucks. What else can I do? Maybe push bottom again.
The score is 30 to 19. It's like
Yeah.
they're leading.
Yeah. And now I see them all top, and I'm like, perfect. I just want to take this tower anyways. So if they don't defend it, I just go, I guess. Because I'm super willing to fight. I don't know what they're doing. But I just took a tower. and like my Rubik respawns in 30 seconds, so they gain nothing, and I gain the tower for free. I take it. But then again, I'm like, okay, now I have the House Rask and the Manta. Now I'm alive. And now the question is, how can I actually kill them? And for me, it was like, okay, let's try Bloodborne, because if I silence any of those guys, they're just dead. So I'm like, cool. They're taking Roche, whatever. I can't solo defend this, and I thought my team is too weak to really join me there. And then I was like, maybe we smoke and go the other side. And we get an initiation. We can fight. This guy dies. Here, that was fun. I predicted the Slaughter stun, the Manta dodged it, and then we played. But suddenly, like, they realize even if they have Aegis, the network difference is just too big. Like, that's just not playable for them anymore. Unless I make like super strong mistakes, there's no way of me dying in this game anymore. And not only that, now it's coming to the point where if they don't take care, I'm just killing them instantly because I start to get items, and I don't know what the fuck is happening now. But this is a classical PL game where you completely run over them, even though it looked at the beginning like it's a tough game and what can we even do. And then like making this bottom rotation on the tower there or at the tier 1 tower, this is optional. Like if you can do it and if you see the right scenario for it, great, it accelerates your game. But you can have the same network or even more network, I would argue, if you just AFK farm and get the network done. And then, yeah, and then the game just looks like this. I take the Ancients, I was like, Slaughter is solo, nice, let's take him because he was kind of strong at the beginning. So I was like, if this guy's out, it might be helpful. But
Yeah,
then,
you carried your whole team by yourself at this point.
yeah. And now we have like, we took all the towers and there's nothing else to do. I just go high ground. And it would be nice, of course, if Jakir sits just behind me and throws this stuff at a tower. But I'm not sure if this happens exactly. I think he dies somewhere random. But the perfect thing for me would now just to give vision on the tower and Jakiro throws his stuff up and we just take the wreck slowly. We kite a little bit. Like if they try to join and fight, my goal is just to delay fights and like drain their mana and slowly take the objective. As you can see, it takes ages to take that building. Just because it's PL. Like it's slow to push, but if you don't overextend and don't do random fights, they just can't kill you. And then it looks like this, where they're like, they're all facing each other, and it feels weird. It just feels so weird for them because they're like, how did he get so fat? Like, when did we not chase him? When did we not kill him?
It
And now we
happened
have...
to me from the other side as well.
Yeah.
Of games.
Yeah. And the game is just over.
Yeah. Wow. 30 minutes. Like I have a question. Like the answer is pretty big, I'm sure, but just answer like in general guidelines. How would you do it if you were a mid laner? Because I sometimes like to play Visage mid, mostly, or sniper mid.
Yeah. I need a map to show pointed. So laning stage, like if you can cut it from laning stage and mid phase, whatever. Laning stage is the same. You just try to lane as good as you can.
Yeah,
and then
definitely.
you want to take the enemy mid tower as soon as you can, especially with a hero that like has the ability to do it. You want to take enemy mid tower. You want to take enemy safe tower, safe lane tower. Then you want to rotate towards Roche, and then take the tier 2 towers, Roche, tier 3 towers, Roche, finish. This is my basic game plan that I want to get. Like that's something that needs to be done in every single game. You want to take mid, save, Roche, mid, save, Roche, mid, save, Roche, and so on. And the question is just, okay, how can I get the opening there?
I see, but what about farming? Because you do need to farm sometimes. Like, how would you go about farming as a mid laner? Would you?
Yeah. For example, I play a lot of Invoker, and with Invoker, of course, you have the Midas. That's the first thing, and you get it like minute 7 on the laning stage, and then you need TP boots to really be active on the map. And so what you can do is you can push out this wave, take those free camps, push out the wave, take the free camps, but then as soon as you get an opening, you either want to pressure mid tower as hard as you can, or you actually want to rotate, and with many heroes like Queen of Pain, or heroes that have a stun setup or whatever, you can fight around this area, and then even farm here, and then fight, and if you get a kill, it results in a tower. So you just don't want, as a mid laner, you just don't want to be up here and farm with the carry. You're probably too weak to farm the Ancients, so the only place where you can be is maybe those two camps and mid, or on the bottom side again as well. But main priority as a mid laner should be to take the enemy mid tower and to hold your own mid tower. That would be the first thing. And then you want to see... Yeah, and then you just want to see where you can put aggression on the map.
So I try to take the mid lane tower and farm. You said, like, not in their jungle, in our jungle.
Yeah, at the beginning,
As
like probably
basically.
minute 10, minute 12, you can farm this and push mid lane. but then at some point you should get an item or a level that enables you to actually fight around this bottom area.
Hmm.
Like you don't have the luxury as a PL as a mid laner compared to a Phantom Lancer or Naga, where you just AFK farm the same area over and over again, and you still get 4,000 MMR. As a mid laner, you actually have to move and you have to get kills. And there, actually, the mindset is really right. Like, you don't want to try to outfarm the enemies. You don't want to, like, for example, especially maybe as a Jakiro mid lane, whatever that is. Like, at minute 60, you're still weak, but you're really strong at minute 10, at minute 12, 13, and something like this. So you want to kill this guy, completely destroy him, and then try to leverage it as soon as possible against other heroes, and then get the objectives with it.
So what's my priority? Try to, assuming I took their mid tower,
Mhm.
should I go farm or should I go be aggressive?
Go aggressive and immediately take bottom. Get the next tower, and then like if you manage to get both, if you manage to get mid tower at minute 15 and the bot or the enemy safe lane tower at minute 15, then you can just chill. Because even if you do a fight now, you can't leverage the next tier 2 towers out of a fight because you're generally too weak. So you want to chill for like 5 minutes, get your next Networth, maybe see if they put on some aggression, try to create some space, force out the enemy here, like the enemy carry to farm here, just control this bottom area. And then as soon as you get minutes 17, 18, 19 or something, you can go smoke and get into the next fight, kill an enemy hero, and then take the tier 2 towers and maybe Roche.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
What about ganking during the laning stage? Because I like to play Visage mid and is a great pusher.
Yep.
So whenever he ganks, I just take their tower. Like
Yeah,
90%
perfect.
of the time it happens, but then he kills my core and my carry or something sometimes. So
I take it, I think. Like, you can tell that he's missing. You can control the rune, especially as Visage. I think you can hit, like, you can deny the runes. And then, yeah, as soon as Queen of Pain, for example, this is a perfect, like, example, actually. Because Queen of Pain has the ability to rotate really efficiently, and you don't as a Jakiro or as a Visage. But you can just push the tower. Like, as soon as this guy goes, you want to push as hard as you can, take half of the tower, or maybe even take the tower. And then it's way, way more worth to get a mid lane tower compared to your carry dying once. And if you feel like, okay, I just got a double damage, I got a haste, I want to rotate, always rotate against the enemy carry instead of against the enemy's offlaner.
yeah, that's definitely
Yeah.
Fit for
For example, now he should just push as hard as he can, but he isn't.
But
Like,
what if I'm not such a good pusher? If I play like sniper, should I rotate as well? Maybe try to kill their carry or
as a
should
sniper, I
I?
would say it's pretty much the same thing as a carry. Like those high net worth mid laners, for example, Temple Assassin, Sniper, what else is there? Maybe Exort Invoker, I don't know. You want to boost your net worth. Like usually as a sniper, I want to get maybe let's say Maelstrom Dragonlance, and then I can fight. And then you just want to flash farm those camps. You want to stack them. You like push the wave for shrapnel, stack them, push the shrapnel, stack them, and push the shrapnel, and then push the next ones for shrapnel, and then yeah, go this way.
So I wouldn't put much emphasis on destroying their tower because I'm not a good pusher and just try to farm more.
Yeah, I think so. You can even stack ancients, like double stack those camps, like 3 times even on laning stage. Like as soon as you have level 4 on your Q as a sniper, you can Q this wave at minute 30, then run over, like buy boots first, and then run over, stack the camps, and do this like 5 times, and then you maybe lose a couple of CS every time, but you invested yourself in like the ancients, and then as soon as you have level 7, you can just stand here and like take 5 ancient stack and then 5 small camp stack. Then suddenly you have the items to maybe defend mid lane one more time, and then rotate to another lane and kill the carry, take the objective, and then rotate mid lane again.
Isn't it a good thing to do in general if you're a mid laner to miss some CSs to stack and then take them later?
It depends. For example, if I play Exort Invoker, like even if I'm level 8 and I have my double Forge Spirits, I'm not great at taking stacks. I'd rather like focus to get every single last tier and then open
They
myself
take the
the
tower.
the objective.
So if I'm a greedy mid laner, I should stack, not push as much. But if I'm a good pusher,
hmm
I should try to take the tower
Yeah,
and then farm. I
yeah,
see.
yeah. It's just usually it makes sense from like the abilities. Just try to maximize whatever your abilities do for you. And if you have AoE damage that doesn't affect towers, then of course you don't use it against towers, but you use it against creeps. Then it's more effective to use it against many creeps than just some creeps. And if you have the ability, for example, with Alacrity or something like this, to have a lot of single target damage output, then you can use it to take objectives, or same with Visage, force areas like this. Yeah. Oops.
I see.
All right.
Mm. Yeah, so I learned a lot.
Okay, maybe so far. So to summarize it for you, carry gameplay, I think really the first thing is to get 25 CS in 5 minutes consistently, and then we can think about everything else. Then we can think about, okay, how do we jungle afterwards? What items do we buy, and how do we rotate? But it's just the first thing. Like if you get into a game where you have like under 10 CS in 4 minutes, the probability of you losing is just 70%.
Yeah, definitely should check that video that you said.
Ah, yeah, yeah. Let's see if I.
What's his name?
Hey, let
look
me
for
check
it
if I
now.
have a link for it. Doo, doo, doo.
How
If I
long have you been playing Dota?
2014, 2015, something like this.
Oh wow,
I think 6,000 hours or something.
damn.
A lot of time.
So do you do the coaching just because you enjoy it, or do you want to be like a full-time coach or something?
No, I think it's too unreliable. I really enjoy it actually. And I always learn a lot from it myself because I have to articulate the thoughts that I have.
Yeah.
Um, and then yeah, I started a small YouTube channel to share it. This basically started because I had many people asking me the same question, and I was like, I should just make one video about it, and then I can post a link, and I just shared. Same with this. I think this is it.
Have you did you ever like help heralds get out of Herald?
Yeah, yeah.
Because it feels impossible, just impossible.
With time, the right mindset, and
Like
consistency.
yeah, like my friend, he's really good with the CSs. He constantly gets the 50, sometimes 60 CSs, but still it doesn't feel as reliable. But he probably lacks something afterwards.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, this is just the first step, and like most people started at Herald, or like I started before they had medals. But you start at zero, and then you just build your way up, and then you slowly fix step by step the issues that you have. And just the most important thing is that like or in general, like if you have a lot of net worth, you can get away with a lot of other things. This is, for example, like if you play shooters, if you have a great aim, you can get a lot away with a lot. Like you can be at a super bad position, just out aim the other guy, and then you win. And then it's like, okay, is he a good player? Well, he can aim, fair enough. And if you can last it, and if you have consistently high last it, then we're getting somewhere at least.
like shooters, you mean ranged heroes?
And no, in shooters, like if you play Apex Legends or like Call of Duty or something.
Oh,
Yeah. And then, like, for example, in Apex Legends, of course, you have to look at the rotations and where to be on the map and how to do whatever. But if you just have a good aim, you're you're gonna improve a lot.
yeah. No, Dota right now is enough for me.
Yeah, definitely. Same for me. I mainly play Dota.
Yeah, only playing Dota.
Yeah. And it's the best game. I mean, what can I say? It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
no,
Absolutely beautiful.
I hate my friend for getting me addicted to it.
Yeah.
It was like an like immediate thing from the first game that I tried
Mm,
myself with him. That's okay.
nice.
This is what I do now.
I just
Uh,
remember that I was so afraid of Pudge, because I felt like if he
I
just hooks you, you're just dead. I was always
I
afraid of this guy.
I ban Pudge automatically, like by
Yeah.
default. I ban Pudge. I never played Pudge because I hate that character so much.
Hmm.
It's like I'm constantly tilted by Pudge.
Yeah.
Even if
Yeah.
we
Feel
start
you.
the game, I just hate that character.
Great. Yeah, it's a cool journey. All right. So this is maybe for the first input,
Uh,
and then like further down the lane, I could do some live coaching, whatever, and then if my coach coaches me, then I always feel like the physical change in my brain, or I don't know how to formulate this, but whenever he tells me to go somewhere where I wouldn't go, I'm like, ah, okay, well, this is so different, and then
yeah, I'd love that. I'd love that.
yeah, then you can get adjusted to it.
Yeah. What's the name of that video? by the way?
I
didn't
posted
see
it. I think I sent it on you on Discord.
You sent it?
Yeah. Check it
I
out.
didn't see the message. Oh, on Discord. Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I'm new to that Discord. It's very uncomfortable, I have to say.
Makes sense.
Yeah, okay, so I'll check it out. I wrote everything. I'll try to implement them in my next games.
All right. I will be
Uh,
uploading this video as well, so you can come back to it
oh,
and
okay, awesome.
see it goes for you.
Did we have any viewers, by the way?
Some, yeah. I'm super happy if like 10 people watch it, but some like one video where I got immortal, I think got like 3,000. I'm like, I don't even know 3,000 people. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'll send it to my friend as well.
Great.
Maybe tell me in advance before we meet.
Sure, yeah. And then bunch up some questions and I'll give it a go.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, I'll contact you. I don't know, a couple of days, I guess.
Good luck.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, by the way. You helped me tremendously.
You're welcome. See you around.
Bye, man. Thanks.